what's up guys? What's up guys? What's going on? Blessings, blessings. Blessings, blessings. Good night everyone. How you guys doing tonight? All right. Shout out to all the people out there, man. Shout out to all the hard-working people. Shout out to the people who out there doing 2 jobs. Man, gotta give top my hat off to you guys, because there's a lot of people out there who doing 2 jobs to make ends meet. 2 and 3 jobs. I mean, it ain't easy, man. Time is getting harder and harder, and we gotta be more prepared, man, because one job ain't cutting it now, guys. One job ain't cutting it. If you want to live a certain way, one job is not cutting it. So there's people out there who are doing 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. But this is why we got to be more self-sufficient in certain way. We might be able to do it in a vast, but at least try to be self-sufficient. Try to eat as healthy as you can, because Dr. Bill is not cheap. It's getting serious, man. It's getting serious. And it ain't no time to play anymore. And if you notice, man, I'm gonna talk a little about the kids today. Hey Yuri, Menendez, how you doing? Blessings, blessings. What's going on? Yes, the kids of today, they mightn't be in gardening, they mightn't be in growing their food, but if you notice, let me just say this, right? I remember time growing up when you used to have to be a certain age to able to accomplish stuff. Like they're gonna tell you, oh no, you're too young for that. And you gotta be a certain age before you could start a business, even thinking about a business, even thinking about how to make money, even thinking these ways. But these days, man, the kids, your kids, so smart. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. Very. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. They're not as hard as the generation before. I agree. Marquis says, how you doing? Blessings. Good night. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button, because we have a serious conversation tonight. Alright? Double tap the screen and hit the like button. Appreciate it. But anyhow, the kids today, they're not into going out there and grow the food and do this and do that, but they're smart. And a lot of them realize the things they used to tell us about wait till you're 21 to start a business. A lot of them wiser than that today. A lot of them know, understand and know better. So a lot of kids today is actually doing business online. A lot of kids today is millionaires. So sometimes the teaching sometimes can really hold us back in life. Sometimes it's what makes sense. Sometimes it's what makes sense to us, not what someone said. Because while you're looking, if you notice, in this generation, people not into working hard no more, but just using their intellect. Alright? But anyhow, guys, we actually in the garden season, in the heart of the garden season. Not the garden season, guys. Getting for the winter. We actually in the month where winter begins. We actually in the month where winter begins. And what is happening now? The frost is hitting so hard now. The frost is hitting so hard that it just drying up the leaf of the plants. It just drying up the leaf of the plants. I'm looking at some peppers that I have outside, and I'm looking at how the frost just dry up the leaf them. If you touch the leaf, they break up. But I have some peppers that have been protected. And so far, we hit the frost 2 days now. We're hitting real serious cold weather. And I'm watching the pepper tree them, and they're doing pretty okay. So we have 2 more hard days of frost, 2 to 3 more hard days of frost. So I'm trying to keep them warm for them 2 to 3 days. And then after the 2 to 3 days, I remove. Because what I've learned about pepper tree could stand weather. 35 degrees, 40 degrees. Pepper could stand that type of weather. The weather that pepper cannot stand is 28, 29, 28 below freezing mark. They cannot stand it. But once you see the weather is above 30, 35, they do well. So for the people who already see the frost, already deal with the frost, the first frost, what is going on? For the people who now facing the frost, how your garden, how your plants is doing. Many people brings in a lot of plants which make a lot of sense. Which make a lot of sense. I bring in a lot of my, I'm happy I was doing it early. I'm happy that I was actually doing it early. So now the frost is here. I already have all the plants I need inside. So guys, tell me what? Hey, so bless, how you doing? Blessings to you, sis, how you doing? How this type of weather treating you? Has the frost touches you as already? Did the frost touch you already? Right now it beated me. It beated me bad right now. But I'm excited because I already bring in the plants them I need indoors. Okay, so bless. I'm good. It's cold. Yes, it's freezing outside. It's freezing outside. I have a pepper tree that I had a plastic around it. I now went and put some thick covering over them because it's extra freezing outside. Right now, I think it's about in the 30s right now, which I believe we're gonna drop a little later tonight into the mountain tomorrow. So I'm actually just excited that I bring my plants them indoors before this frost start, because the frost is blazing. I'm telling you, it's blazing. And guys, not because it's winter, start fixing your soil. Not because it's winter and it's cold. Start getting your soil together for the spring. So when the spring comes, you're ready to go. Yes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I truly appreciate it. And also guys, I'm trying different things, and this is why I've learned a lot, because I try different type of experiment with plants. I decided not to fight with nature this year. My bushes are in garage, only greens and some herbs in container. Garden may do some indoors planting. All right, the honest truth is you really can't fight with nature, and you're correct. The thing you do, you just pick up few plants that you know you want to keep, and you take care of them and you put them indoors. And you also can create your little nursery indoors, because we all know, even though now it's December, March, April is not far from here. So the indoor planting, sowing seed is coming up pretty soon. So yes guys, let's get our seeds in the soil pretty soon. It's not easy. It's very challenging gardening indoors. Very challenging. Because the thing about it is, these plants, you got to make sure you take care of them right, because you don't want them to dry out. You want them to be able to have some kind of substance in them, that when you take them out though in the spring gonna bring them back brilliant. But you just want to keep them from drying. And the thing, if you have a garage guys, if you have a garage, you can basically put few plants in there. The thing is, sometimes you need to have, it's good to have like a carpet or something underneath, so the coolness that comes up through the concrete will penetrate in the bottom of the container. That is very good. But you could do it in garage, and you could do it with regular lights. I've been doing this for a while now, keeping plants indoors with regular lights. You see, I try to do stuff guys. This is how I try to do stuff. I try to do stuff without spending a bunch of money, because sometimes it didn't even make sense, because you're spending all this money and then you're not really reaping that much from all this money you spend to buy this, to buy that, and then to keep the plant them going, and then you're still not getting that amount of harvest you're looking for. So I try to do it simple. I try to do it in ways that I ain't gotta be spending a bunch of money, and it's working for me. Because a lot of people invest in a lot of grow lights. A lot of people invest in a lot of things. I'm not telling you not to do that, but me, I'm doing it simple. Because grow lights, I'm sure it helps. It helps. But it also costs money. A lot of stuff costs money. I'm trying to stay away from spending too much money because, listen me, we in times where we got to figure out how to do things without spending too much. Because if I'm spending too much and then my harvest is not enough, then what is sense? So I'm trying to do it simple and natural. Listen me guys. When you bring your plants indoors, your goal is to make sure that these plants hold up themselves until the spring. This is your goal. You wouldn't be able to do harvest indoors depending on the type of plants. There's plants that you can definitely harvest indoors. There's herbs you can harvest grow indoors and harvest. There's definitely plants you can definitely grow and harvest indoors. But there are certain plants you cannot harvest indoors because they need that sun, that heat, that energy in order to produce. So your goal is to make sure that these plants able to keep these plants from drying out, and you know that you could take them up, because guess what? Exactly, so blessed. Exactly. Thank you for that. Some also need pollinators. I agree with that. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yes. So the goal is keeping them from drying up, and you know what I'm saying. Now, there's a lot of people. It happened to me before. Where I bring plant outdoor and in the spring, and when I look at the plant was so dry, and it looked like the plant have no substance inside it, no life. And I throw them away. Next thing, when I look, I see the thing them start in the spring, I see the thing them start pushing out little leaf. I throw them in a heap. And next thing, I see they start to push out leaf. So sometimes you can't don't just take them and throw them away. It's best you just leave them in that container until a few months, and make sure that they're gone before you throw them away. Sometimes we throw them away and they still have life in them. I seen it happen before. So we got to be careful of the plants we bring out. They might look dry, but the roots still alive. Their roots still have life in it. So don't throw them away. Put them outdoors and allow them and see if they're gonna come back before you throw them away. Yes. So the goal is not to spend a bunch of money to try to keep them. The goal is trying to do it as simple as possible, save as much money as possible, and make sure they're able when that spring hit, because remember, something magical happened in the spring. something magical happen in the spring. And when that happen in the spring, everything just come alive. So don't throw them away, put them outdoors and see if they're gonna come back. This is serious, man. It happened to me with a lemon tree. I had a lemon tree outdoors, allowed the winter to beat it. Then I decide, okay, let me take it indoors. And after that, I throw the thing away, the thing start pushing out leaf. Plant of my daughter had her baby, so I abandoned my bud. To my surprise, a lot of things survive with her. Yes, exactly. 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 A lot. The truth is, man, sometimes we try to do a little too much, and what happen? The more we try to do is the more money it costs us. When these plants, I'm telling you, these plants could survive. Yes, that frost. Yes, that frost, you don't want the frost to hit them. So if you want to take them indoors, you can take them indoors. You could do that even in a garage. Anyhow, congratulations. Congratulations to you, so blessed. Alright. Alright, congratulations to you, addition to your family. Congratulations. But yes, these plants, yes, you're welcome. These plants will survive. Now, I have some herbs outdoors. You know what I did? You know what I did? I take some big paint cloth, like some cloth that if you paint in or whatever, you could spread, and I just put it over them. I just put it over them. Some sage, lemongrass, all these type of plants, I cover them. Because for what I've seen, if they're able to survive them 20, them 18 and 20 and 25 degrees, in my zone, after the frost, what does happen? After the frost, what does happen? It's going to be cold in the morning, but by the time 10, 11 o'clock, even in the winter it happens like that. By the time 10, 11 o'clock, the weather is feeling good. So they only feel that cold weather in the night. So if you're able to cover them at night and remove that cloth, maybe about 10 o'clock, that's when the sun starts shining, so they stand a chance. So people in this zone, in zone 8, zone 9, listen to me, you can't, a lot of your plants can survive outside. A lot of them. What damage plants is the frost. You know the frost that comes, you see the frost? The frost is serious, you know. And even to us, human, the frost is serious. It's real serious. I don't know if you guys see how this thing dries up the leaf. Switch that's still standing at attention. Alright. Exactly. And you see, you know another plants that could deal with the winter as well. Collard greens, broccoli, cabbage, parsley, celery, all these plants. If you have them outdoors, they survive this type of weather. You know, so sometimes if you have the space, sometimes I think you got to plant plants that can stand the weather. Plant plants that you plant, like for instance scallion. Scallion is another one. Scallion, could take the weather. And most of these plants strive better in the cold weather. A lot of plants strive better in the cold weather. What damaged the plants them is the frost. The frost is what damaged them. Even in the frost, these plants survive. Yes, some variety of kale too. Yes, some variety of kale as well. That is true, so blessed. So it's a lot of things. This is why I always say, study your plants. Pay attention to the plants. See the kind of weather your plants can deal with. Because like sage, parsley, celery, these plants, they could take the cold weather. So when you plant sage and these type of plants, what I do in the winter, I put leaf around their root to protect their root, because the thing is, the root is what need the protection. Because once the root survive, I guarantee you, they're gonna sprout leaf in the spring. Okay. Yes, I still have strive, thyme, and parsley. Yes, they prefer the colder weather as far as I see. If you notice, strive, the same thing you now call out the so blessed. Strive, thyme, parsley. Notice when the hot heat comes, what does happen? They start to produce less. They barely producing anything. But when you see the fall, you see the strive start coming back up in the fall. That's when they really strive. In the colder weather, they don't do well in the heat. Pine straw works too. Pine straw is such an amazing, it really works in a garden. And you see, a lot of people believe pine straw is just for like mulch to put around your root. Yes, it works wonderful around your plants, around your root. It helps keep away that coldness. So it works perfectly around your plant. But guess what? It takes a long time to break down. But it also adds to your soil. So don't underestimate pine straw, guys. It's beautiful to put around the root of your plant to keep them from freezing, their roots from freezing. But they also works well in the soil. Yes, even lettuce. Lettuce works better in the spring and the fall than the summer. And some variety of lettuce also stand the winter. So my thing is paying attention to these type of plants. Pay attention to the plants that can survive the colder weather. So if the plants survive the colder weather, now you got to move focus on different type of plant, because you have plants there, you already plants that coming back. So you ain't got to focus on these plants. You focus on new plants now. Yes, still have red leaf lettuce. Yes, lettuce, and this is what I'm saying. These plants, you could be eating them during the fall, winter. Collard greens. Collard greens love the cold weather. Collard greens love the cold weather. So onion, garlic, all these things survive the cold weather. Like for instance, in my garden, when I harvest onion, garlic, I never harvest everything. I always leave back a few garlic in the bed, and then in the fall you just see the start coming up. Sometimes I leave like whole ones, and then when the whole ones you see the start, I just take them and separate them and plant them out. So these things make it easier for you in a garden. So in gardening is wise to study the plants you grow and think about the plant you want to grow. Think about the plant you want to plant. That makes sense. And I don't believe in spending a bunch of money I believe in doing it simple and make it work. I forget about, yes, rosemary too. Rosemary do well. Right now my rosemary, the weather ain't touched them. My rosemary looks beautiful. Just like the weather ain't past them. And these are herbs. So when you think about the plant we talk about so blessed tonight, when you think about these plants, these are plants you should always have in a bed or something. Even though you have them outside, because as we see these plants could deal with the cold. So say for instance, you have them in a raised bed. Let's put it this way. Say you have them in a raised bed. All you got to do is put up 4 posts and put a cover over them in the cold weather if you feel like. So these plants is what we should always have. And this is why my garden never empty, because I think about what to plant and what to grow. I have them in containers. Okay, so you have them in containers, so you could even take them indoors if you feel like. But for what I'm seeing, these plants dealing with the cold weather. And this is the thing we got to study and we got to know. We don't want to be spending a bunch of money trying to keep these plants, and then our harvest is not in abundance. So we rather do it simple. Pack them in your garage, pack them somewhere, put with a regular light. Because I'm showing you, I have plants growing with a regular light in a room. I have a room behind my garage. I have them in there growing without a grow light, without a grow tent, without all these type of stuff. Just right there growing. I have mango tree, lemon, lime, papaya, avocado. And these are fruit trees, and they're growing in a room with a regular light. Remember, the goal is to keep them going. They mightn't be growing big, they mightn't be doing because they're indoors, but once you're able to keep them from going back to the earth, when you take them out in the spring, they're gonna just transform fully. So the goal is keeping them going. They're not gonna grow because they need that sun. So that's my goal. My goal ain't to be spending a bunch of money and still can't get the harvest I'm looking for. These are resilient plants. They adjust. Definitely. Definitely. A lot. Thank you for saying that too. Thank you for saying that too. A lot of plants adjust to the temperature, to the weather. A lot of plants. When you sit back and you study, listen me guys, I grow a lot of plants and I love to pay attention to plants, because that's how I learn about them. I need to get a rubber mat for my garage because the bushes on the cement floor. Yes, yes, yes. Because in your garage rests on the floor, the rough floor. So all the coldness comes up, and concrete suck coldness. Whatever concrete receive it, suck it. If it receive heat, it suck the heat. If it receive the coldness, it suck the coldness. No. If your container just rests raw on the ground and the coldness keep rising up, and the roots from your plant touching the bottom of that container, and then the coldness just penetrating, it might cause a situation. So having a rubber mat or a carpet or whatever could help that situation. Prevent, you know what I mean, something from happening. And you're welcome. But you don't have to spend a bunch of money trying to keep these plants, because like Subless said a minute ago, a lot of these plants is resilient. They adjust to the temperature. And you know what? My mango, my lemon, my cassava, my papaya, I bring them in over a month now. I bring them in before I start to get cold weather. And you know why I did that? I did that because I wanted them to start adjusting to indoors. I didn't want to bring them in when the plants, when outside start getting cold. I wanted to bring them indoors before the weather changed, so they could start adjusting to a different type of environment. So when they adjust to that different type of environment, when the coldness comes on, they already trained from that heat they was getting to a cooler weather temperature. You see what I'm saying? So when the coldness comes in now, it's not going to bother them that much. Instead of me now trying to bring them in now, because the weather changed now, the weather blazing cold now. No, I bring them in over a month ago when the weather was still beautiful. I bring them in to adjust. So yes, a lot of these plants adjust to what type of condition you prepare for them. Yes, that is really true. So like I keep saying, I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money trying to keep these plants. I want to do it as simple as possible to keep them, because the truth is, light costs, you got to pay for electricity. The more light you get, the more electricity you born. Right? I doing it and it working for me beautiful. I don't know how it might work for someone else. Alright? But if you're doing it in your garage, you want to give that little something on the ground. You know, because you don't want that coal it runs up into the container. Because you don't know what can happen. So I try to prevent them stuff. Even in my garden outdoors, I don't plan to spend a bunch of money. You understand? I don't, you see, this is how I do it. I don't want to garden and spending more than I can harvest. So I do my own experiment. I learn about these plants. I pay attention. I learn. I watch how they grow. I watch how they adapt to different environment. I watch how they adapt to different climate. Like for instance, I'm growing some avocado. I have about 15 avocado trees, right? And I'm growing them and I'm watching all of them. I put them in different environments and I'm watching all of them. Like last night was pretty cool. And I leave 3 of them outside. I leave 1 in the outdoors with no covering, and I leave 2 under the deck. And what I see, they all look the same, even though the weather was so cold. But you want to make sure you know and watch, and it's good to put them in cold weather so they could adapt. Who knows, one day they might turn cold hardy. You see what I'm saying? I harvest enough from summer plant to last me a while, so I don't need to stress in the winter months. I'm good. All right, well that's a good idea. That's a good idea. You grow enough during the summer that you able to harvest. That you're able to harvest and save and put up during the winter month. So you ain't got to do too much. Just like me. I don't do fall garden. I don't do fall garden because I plant enough during the whole season. And then guess what? My garden does produce until November. I now harvest about 12 pumpkin. I think it's the day before Thanksgiving. 12 pumpkin and 20 something bell pepper. But you know, so my garden don't start produce until these heavy frosts come by. But the thing is, grow as much if you have the space. Grow as much as you can in the spring and the summer, so you ain't got to stress too much in the winter. The most thing I do in the winter is try to keep these plants going. That's the most thing I do. And in the spring, I take them outdoors and let nature do its thing. I figure out that I don't enjoy going outside when it's summer. You know what? I mean, I understand. I understand because, listen to me, sometimes when it's... Oh, so you get snow. You get snow, so bless. Okay. I don't really get snow. I get the cold weather, but I really don't get the snow. I mean, I'm grateful because the thing is, I have a longer growing season. Some people, their growing season is pretty short. You know what I'm saying? So, in that case, they might have to do a little more than me. You see, they might got to invest in the grow lights. They might got to invest in different things because their growing season is short. But for me, I have a long growing season. So there's really no need for me to even try to grow a fall garden. It's just for me to try to keep these plants going until the following spring. But the people in different zone, I understand. You listen to me, just do what works for you guys. Alright? Okay, let me see. Yes, snow and ice. Oh wow. Snow and ice. I rather slip and slide this. Alright. Listen to me. The truth is, I love to see the snow when it's falling. And you know, sometimes when it on the pine tree them and it freeze and how it just looks so beautiful. But I don't like to see it when it start to turn muddy and when it freeze on the ground, and then when you freeze in your car and you got to dig out the snow from around your tire to get your car. That's what I don't like, for real. I like to see when it's falling, not when it's on the ground for days, weeks just there, turning ice. No. I rather slip and slide inside to music. I agree. Yes. But yes, guys, you just gotta garden how it works for you, you know what I'm saying? This is why you gotta do your own little research, your own studying, your own, I wouldn't even say research, I say experiment. I say do your own experiment. Watch the plant that strive better in the colder weather, like the spring, like the fall, and that's when you plant them. You already know what type of plant love the heat, so you know you got to plant them early. Sometimes, like for instance, guys, sometimes people tell you, oh, you can plant 6 weeks before you're ready, before your last frost. Well, if you have the space and you have the condition that you could keep these plants, you could start them 2 months instead of 6 weeks. Especially if you in a zone that have short growing season. Because you got to remember, these plants have a certain amount of days for them to produce. So say for instance you start them 2 months and you get them going, then you bring them outdoors, then they're already, 2 months old already. So you just got to get them going. This is why I'm telling you guys, get your soil together in the fall. So if you get your soil together in the fall, in the spring, when you plant these plants, they must ready to go. The soil must ready to feed them. Because it's no time to keep back these plants. These plants supposed to plant and ready to go. know what I'm saying? They're supposed to plan and ready to go. Sometimes we the one who hinder our harvest. Because the plants take a certain amount of days. And you want to make sure that plant take that amount of days, not more than it. Sometimes you could hold back the plant, and the plant even take longer to produce. And you already have a short growing season. So try not to do that to yourself. Alright? Try not to do that to yourself. So what's up, guys? What's going on? How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Thanksgiving? I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Alright? I hope you guys spend that time with family. You know, good, come together. Lot of peace. Lot of joy. Lot of happiness. I hope that was the case. Because, you know, family is everything. And sometimes you might believe you don't need. Yes, sometimes family get you off your nerves. Yes, of course, sometimes. But family is everything, man. Family is everything. You know, once everybody become grown up, man, we should know how the difference. Definitely peaceful and thankful for that. Oh, yes. You see, I don't know, guys, but a peace of mind, a peace of mind is very important. Yeah, a peace of mind is very, very important. You need that time. You need that time where you could just relax. And just enjoy the moment. You know, there's two things should be everyone best friend. You know, we look at people and we say, oh, that's my best friend. But guess what? Best friends, let me put it this way. And most people believe if you have a best friend, you know, you should be able to trust them 100%. Well, you can't expect your best friend to be trustworthy 100%. You got to remember, everybody is different, and most of the time, sometimes your best friend have another best friend. You see what I'm saying? So when you're looking for best friends out of mankind, it's kind of difficult. You got to just understand and limit yourself and understand, what should I tell this person and what I should not. You can't tell people everything and then you expect them not to say anything. So, when you're looking for best friend, humbleness, and a peace of mind. That's the best friend everybody should be looking for. Being humble and a peace of mind. Ain't nothing is better than a peace of mind. You could have all the money in the world. If you don't have that peace of mind, you're miserable. And you could have no money. But because you have that peace of mind, you feel like you have everything. So two good friends to have is a peace of mind and being humble. Being humble is appreciation, being humble. Understanding that this is what I have and I'm going to deal with it until better come by. You understand? Not watching others and what others have and stressing out yourself. No. Humble and appreciation. Yes. Don't expect your best friend to keep your secret. That's a big burden you should not. Definitely so blessed. I agree with you on that 100%. You cannot put that on no one. Yes, I like how you put it too. I like how you put it. You cannot expect that. So don't tell them everything and then expect them to hold that a secret for you. You understand? I like how you put that. And I agree with that 100. I agree with that on 100. That's about it. So your best, everyone should look for this best friend, man. A peace of mind and being humble. When you're being humble, it's a blessing. You appreciate life more. You understand things more. You know what? My father used to always tell me that as a little boy. He used to say, son, don't do unto others. These are principles. You see, there's a lot of principles that pass down that I really hold value for, and there's a lot of them that I really don't pay attention to. A lot of things because for my own reason. No, my father used to say, son, don't do unto others the things you wouldn't like them to do unto you. He used to always tell me that. And he used to always say, be humble. Be humble. Little boy. And he used to be telling me these things. And you know, while I'm growing, I understand exactly what he was saying. Be humble. Appreciate. So sometimes we cannot put trust in mankind. So don't expect too much from mankind. Peace of mind. With a peace of mind, you could relax. You could sleep. That's in that space. You could find happiness. You could find joy. Being humble make you appreciate life and appreciate how far you reach. But that doesn't mean you stand there. You try to accomplish. But meanwhile, you're appreciating the steps you're making and your accomplishment. Someone's journey is not your journey. So they might be a step ahead of you. But that's their journey. Your journey is different. So you focus on your journey, on what you're doing, and your accomplishment, and appreciate with a peace of mind, that's good friends right there. That's good friends right there. Because you cannot expect too much from mankind. But once you find peace, that's a lot to accomplish. Once you find peace, ain't nothing nobody could tell you to get you upset, because you understand. When you find peace, nothing's bother you, because you understand. When you humble, nothing bother you, because you understand. You appreciate. You know sometimes, sometimes you have people. I've seen people like this before. They accomplish things in life, but still the happiness. You see what I'm saying? So much, accomplish so much in life, but the peace of mind is not there. The happiness is not there, even though they accomplish so much. So being humble, with the peace of mind, it's a blessing. It is a blessing. Being humble with peace of mind, with a peace of mind, it's a blessing. You cannot pay. There's not enough money to buy a peace of mind. And your sanity, sometimes your sanity as well. These things are important. You know, there's a lot of things we ignore in life that's so important to us. We look at material things as important, but material things would always go, man. You could have it today, tomorrow you don't have it. You could have so much today, and as one storm come and you lose it all. You could have so much today, and all it takes for you to lose it is a storm. So blessed. You have to have boundaries with friends. They could turn your peace into their double ground for their problem. I'm compassionate and I have empathy, but no patience for self-inflicted consequences. All right. And you correct. And you are correct. You are correct. You got to have boundaries. I agree with that. You have to have boundaries. I agree with that strongly. You got to have boundaries. And you can't expect too much. This is the problem. Sometimes we expect too much. Sometimes you expect more than what you could give. And that's, you see what I'm saying? So, yes, I agree with that. And yes, you can turn your piece into, and you know what to? You know what to? Sometimes in life, this is where humbleness comes in, and this is where finding peace comes in. In life, you have to understand. In life, you got to understand certain things. And when you understand these things, you know how to operate, you know how to move, you know what to say, you know what not to say. You know? But you can't expect too much because you will be disappointed. That's the thing. Don't expect too much from friends because you will be disappointed. Alright? Because no one is perfect, and then your best friend most of the time have another best friend. Just check in school days. Check in school days growing up. Your best friend have a best friend over there, and you believe that you and the person's friend, but they have a best friend over there. So these are things you got to understand, and when you understand it, you will have boundaries. as so blessed say, even plants will tell you where exactly. Even plants will tell you when you do it too much. Definitely. Yes, definitely. Yes. Amen. Being humble and a right peace of mind, it's a blessing for anyone to have, I'm telling you. And you know, and it sometimes when you tell people that, they say it's easier said than done. It's not really easier said than done, you know. It's just things you got to understand. You know? It's just things you got to understand. You got to be able to if someone says something about you, you got to be able to deal with that in such a mannerly way. You understand? Like some people explode if someone says something about them. Right? Explode. You don't need to explode. And then if someone do something to you, the best result you could get is if you leave it. If you just leave it, don't dwell on it, just leave it. Your reward will be so satisfying, and you ain't do anything. You didn't hurt the person, you didn't cuss the person, you didn't say nothing, you just leave that alone. And your reward, you understand? Because you didn't have to put in any effort. But when we take it up on ourselves, we already changed the course. Yes, we already changed the course because we take it up on ourselves. So now that reward, that you know, we take it up on ourselves and we arguing and we cussing and we carrying on. That's not helping anything. But when you leave it, the reward is great because you didn't put nothing, no effort to it. You just leave it. Like some people say, I leave it to the hands. I leave it in the hands of the Most High, the hands of the Creator. They just leave it. Let me see. My cutoff game is That's it. You ain't got to argue with nobody. If you see it's not working, you leave it alone. You ain't need to argue with anyone. And that's the truth. You ain't need to argue with anyone. Because I personally ain't have no energy for argue with no one. If I see something in, I take myself away. I'm not arguing with no one. I'm not using my time arguing with anyone. It don't make sense. Some people say, oh, well, you got to get it off your chest. Well, my way of getting things off of my chest is not going to be through argument. Because when you argue, nobody listens to you. It's just a screaming argument going on. Nobody even listens. They're not listening. You could get something off your chest in a calm, mannerly way. You ain't got to be arguing with anyone to get something off your chest. But again, everybody is different. Why would you want to be around someone you can't trust? So what the purpose of the argument? Exactly, so blessed. Thank you for that. Why would you, for real? When you really think about it, if you can't trust them, why would you even try to be around them? So what's the purpose of argument? You already know that it exactly. So there's no need for an argument. Sometimes it's just best to pull yourself away. Honestly. Sometimes it's just best you pull yourself away. Because pulling yourself away, you taking yourself from that type of energy. Alright? Because that's not you. And you don't want to make nobody pull you from your level down to that type of energy. Because that's not where you function good. So once you find that type of energy, as so blessed say, a cut off game is quick. I agree with that because it ain't make sense. It ain't make sense. I ain't arguing with nobody. It don't make any sense of arguing with anybody. So yes, guys, peace of mind, being humble. If you find these two best friends in your life, you're in a good place. Honestly, you're in a good place. And sometimes in this life, sometimes if they want to know how I feel about it, they better use telepathy. Yes, okay. Yes. Yeah, man. Life is too funny now, man. Life is too serious now. You know, times gone by. In the times gone by, people used to argue. And then they just leave and next thing you see their friends again. These days, arguing go a long way. Argument goes a long way these days. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the distance you want to go, the other person want to go way beyond the distance you want to go. So when you tell yourself you say few words and you're ready to stop, that doesn't mean the other person ready to stop. They might want to take it to another level. So it's best you just leave it alone and just walk away. For real. Some people, like I said, sometimes when you say these things, some people say it's easier said than done. And I understand. But practice to be humble. Yeah. Try to be humble. At least try to be humble. and appreciate at the same time. You know, you have people nothing, don't care what. No appreciation. No, you have to appreciate. It doesn't mean you got to satisfy for less. It does not mean you got to satisfy for less. It just means you appreciate your blessings. You appreciate your blessings. But that doesn't mean you settle for less and you don't strive for more. Yes, you strive for more, but you appreciate your blessings. And some people, because of not being humble, not being appreciative, they lose out a lot. Sometimes you even lose your blessing. Sometimes you lose your blessing in these type of ways. Not appreciating, not being humble. Sometimes you lose your blessings because you couldn't see what you have. You couldn't see what you have. So you couldn't appreciate what you have. And you end up losing. It goes in relationship too. Sometimes, and it's vice versa. It's not, I'm not gonna say it's a one-way thing. It's vice versa. Sometimes a man might have a very satisfying person in their life, but then I appreciate the person. You have somebody in your life who cares about you, but you don't appreciate them. Sometimes you could lose that person because you don't appreciate them. So appreciation, man, comes along with, man, and being humble and for real. Appreciation. When you got good people in your life, appreciate it, because I'm telling you, there's people who they only attract messed up people. You understand? So when you got good people in your life, you have to appreciate, man. You got to be humble and appreciate. Because sometimes if you don't appreciate, you lose good people. Whether in a relationship, whether in friendship, whether however. You can lose out big time. Yeah, man. So being humble and appreciation, it's a blessing. And like I said, when I say appreciate, I don't mean you don't look for more, but you appreciate what you have. Woman, you have a good husband, a good boyfriend in your life, appreciate them. Same thing with the man. You have a wife, you have a girlfriend in your life, appreciate them. Especially if they're good to you, man. Don't take people for granted in this time. Don't take people for granted. Especially when people cares about you. Don't take them for granted, because you could lose them. And most of the time when you lose good people, you can't get them back. Keyword good. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Goody. I'm so blessed. I had was to say that part. Yes, because we all do, you know. I ain't even got to say it, but we all do. So yes, good. When you find good people in your life, appreciate it, try to make it work. Alright? And when you lose good people, sometimes you never able to get them back. And you know what? This is why I'm saying, guys, you have to appreciate. Because why I'm saying appreciation is very much needed. Because sometimes you meet people and they, you know, it's like they just see you as a good person and they see something in you and they just wanna, you know what I mean, just help however they can. And because of you and your unappreciative self, the person who could have blessed you and take you to that next level just left and gone. Why? Because nothing they do you appreciate. Trust me, guys, appreciation, it's a blessing. Able to appreciate things that people do for you or people, whatever. The good things, the blessings you receiving, because not watch. You might be good and well, healthy. You understand? You might be good and well, healthy. You mightn't be rich, but you're healthy and you're feeling good and you're blessed. You're living comfortable. There's other people who might be rich, but they ain't happy as you. So that's why appreciation is a blessing. If they're not good, it's well, I'm saying, I mean, I agree with you, because I mean, it's no need to. I agree with that. I really agree with that. Yes. I agree with that, so blessed. You can't take people for granted. Definitely. I agree with that. And sometimes, like so blessed say, you can't take people for granted. You might be, there's people in your life who just helping you. I mean, when I say help you, you can help people in different ways. It ain't got to be financially. It could be in many different ways. A person could help a person. It ain't really got to be finance. So a person could help a person in many different ways. So if a person is helping you, I think, hey, God desire me, how you do it? Good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Good night. Yes, you can't take people for granted. I agree with that. Because sometimes the people you take for granted is the people who really doing so much for you. And the people who you take it serious is who not really doing anything for you. So like I say, guys, be humble and appreciate. You understand? Because sometimes you believe you're going through something, or you believe you're going through situation. And some people wish they living like you. You see what I'm coming from? And you believe that you know you're going and your situation, it might be a blessing to some people. You know, and sometimes we got to always remember, life is life, and there will always be challenges. There will always be challenges. In life, is never going to be a smooth road that you just travel. It's always going to be challenging from time. But you have a good life, appreciate it. You ain't got to be rich to have a good life. Just being healthy, able to walk outside, able to cook a meal for your family, able to have a roof over your head, all these are blessings, you know what I'm saying? Wake up in the morning, able to see, able to walk, all these things are blessings. There's many people who cannot see, who cannot walk. You see? So sometimes in life, appreciation. And you know what? Sometimes, because we're so caught up in selfish ways and being unappreciative, we lose our blessing many times. Because you're blessed, but you can't see a blessing. Because you're caught up watching somebody else. You see? You might caught up watching somebody else, and you ain't realize how blessed you are. You are so blessed, but you're looking at other people. This is why you got to focus on you and what you're doing. And try to accomplish more. Appreciate while you're accomplishing. And while you're accomplishing things, always remember to put something aside. Like the old people say, put something aside for the rainy days. You know, do you guys ever see an ant's nest? Do you guys ever see an ant's nest? Do you observe how ants operate? Do you observe how ants operate? You only see ants when rain not falling. Once the sun is hot and there's no rain, the ants outside jogging food. And you just see them going in lines. Some coming back, some going in lines. You know what they're doing? They're preparing for rainy days. So sometimes we got to watch the animals and the bugs and the pests and watch their life and copy from their life and see. You see what I'm saying? Because ants know when it's raining, these big heavy drops drop and fall on them, they might just pass out. The water might wash them away. So what they do, when it's sun and hot, they come out and they start jogging food. Back and forth, back and forth. So yes, while we're accomplishing, always put aside for rainy days. Alright? And always remember how blessed we are. And you ain't got to be rich to be blessed. Just able to walk outside. Being humble. Walk outside. Have a peace of mind. That's being blessed right there. try to have some sort of independence. That's being blessed right there. So two good friends everybody should look to have is being humble and a peace of mind. The right state of mind. Very important. Very, very important. A peace of mind. Nothing is better than a peace of mind. And you know what? By saying this, a peace of mind do not just come by. It don't just appear. A peace of mind don't just appear out the cloud or just appear unto you. A peace of mind is come from experience, life journey, understanding. I appreciate the reminder, Plata. All right, you're welcome. So bless you. Welcome. Yes. A peace of mind don't just appear. It's a journey. A peace of mind is a journey. Your life, your experience, the things you went through, how you handle situation, how it turns out. So by you handling a situation a certain way, and you see it turns out maybe a way you didn't want it to turn out, you might want to change it the next time. So you say, you know what? I'm not going to do it this way. Again, I'm going to do it the other way. So all this journey in life is what leads you to a peace of mind. Because now you understand. You understand. You cannot tell a friend your whole life story and expect them not to say anything. If they don't, it's good, but you cannot expect them not to say anything. So now, we were speaking about this earlier. So now you tell your friend everything. Now you expect that friend to hold everything for you. And if they don't, that become a problem. So now you experience that. So what you doing next time, you know what? I'm not gonna be telling anybody everything because I don't, you see what I'm saying? So now you understanding. So a peace of mind don't just appear. It's a journey in life. Plant a sowing seed of knowledge. Oh, thank you. Thank you, so blessed. Thank you. Yes, it don't just appear. It's a whole journey. And that journey is what teaches you. Will make you humble. All these things come from journey. You understand? You got to learn from your mistakes. The mistake you make, you try to correct them. So when you correct your mistake, you understand. So now, things that used to bother you, you know better now. So you're not going to make it bother you anymore. Because you understand. I'm not supposed to make that bother me. I'm going to deal with it a different way. So now it's a whole journey. Now you understand how to deal with people. You understand, okay, I got to be private with certain things. I cannot just speak everything and expect people to keep it. So now these are things you got to understand and know, because you can't trust mankind wholeheartedly. Because they're not you. You see what I'm saying? You is you, them is them. So they're not you. So you can't just rely on telling somebody your whole history and expect them to keep a secret for you. They might tell a few people, And you can't blame them. Because if you didn't want it to be out there, you should have keep it to yourself. So these are where you get peace of mind, because you understand. So it's a life journey. It don't just appear overnight. It's a journey where you learn, you experience, and you change things. That's how you find peace of mind. And peace of mind and arrogance does not work. The two opposite. Humbleness. Peace of mind and humbleness works perfectly. Arrogance and peace of mind cannot work. Okay? Let me see. That's why older people say, take something to yeah. I agree. Yes. Yes, they know why they used to say that. It's a reason. It's a reason. That's why some people say, I'll tell you the things I want you to know. That's it. They only tell you what they want you to know. They're not going to tell you the history, because you're going to go tell somebody else. So these are things we have to understand. In order to lead us to this peace of mind, it comes with understanding and humbleness. It comes with learning. It comes with changing things, changing the way you do things. It comes with your experience. And that's how you gain peace of mind, because now you know. Now you know what to expect. Now you know what not to expect. So you're just living and enjoying life in a simple, natural form. That's the best life you could live. A simple, natural form. Because what? We want to have everything. You see what I'm saying? We want the lifestyle. We want to have nothing wrong with it if you could afford it. I say nothing wrong with it if you could afford it. Because the thing about it is, sometimes the extra things that you could really do without. Sometimes you could do without it, but you just have to get it. But these extras cost more, right? It costs more, and it put more expense on you. The simple little life, less stress, more peace. The more you try to go at is the more responsibility it comes with. So the simple little life, which many people don't want to live, but is one of the best life you could ever live. A simple little life. Nothing's bother you. Yes, guys. So tonight, we talk a lot about gardening. We talk about plants. We talk about the frost. Tonight was a beautiful conversation. No joke, so blessed. So blessed, thank you for being here. I appreciate the conversation. I like how you get me going. We had a beautiful time. So guys, don't forget to check out So Blessed. Check out our channel. She's doing great things over there. Right now I'm I have a lot going on, so I really don't be, like on YouTube like that, but I still want to thank all the supporters, Thanks everyone for the support. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. But this conversation is much well needed. For real, much well needed. This type of conversation, because it's real life. You know what I mean? It's real life. It's real life. It's things that happen every day. For real, it's things that happen every day. So at the end of the day, being grateful, being appreciative, man, and always remember, don't take good people for granted. Alright? And appreciate people. Good people, because I'm not gonna say everyone, because you have real messed up people out here too. So I'm not gonna say exactly. Stay humble. Stay humble. I'm not gonna say to everyone, because there's a lot of messed up people. But once you find good people in your life, appreciate them. And don't take them for granted. Don't take advantage of them. Sometimes some people take your kindness for weakness. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you this, man. Try to live a good life, guys. Try to live a good life, because things come back. Alright, things come back. And sometimes in life, the people who you treat the worst, sometimes is the people you gotta go back to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's them same people you gotta go back to. The same people you treat like crap is the same people sometimes you have to go right back to. And if they tell you no, how you gonna feel? You see what I'm saying? How you gonna feel if you in need and there's someone who you treat like crap? In the past, you go to them and ask them for help and they refuse. How would you feel? It's just best we live a good life, humble life, appreciate the good people, appreciate the people who try to, who help you, who try to help you, or who looking out for you. But sometimes people take the goodness of people's heart and take it for granted. Some people take the people that's really for them and who willing to help them and treat them like a crap. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Appreciate people, treat people with respect and honor, because I'm telling you, stuff come back, and you don't want things come back to you. Because sometimes, like I now mentioned, man, sometimes you might do something to someone and that's the same person you gotta go back to for ask for what. Like I say, help doesn't have to be financial. It doesn't have to be fine. Let me tell you, you know what? Let me tell you a story. I was a little boy, was a young boy growing up. I could never forget this. Never forgot this. We used to go, you know, like you're hanging out in the, you know, like for instance, you're hanging out, you have your friends them that you might hang out with. You're like a boy. So you go pitch marble and you kick ball and you do all this kind of stuff. And this, I could never forget, this lady used to cuss we. You're not troubling nobody, you're just having fun. And this lady used to cuss, all you just cuss with them, you know what I mean? You're not troubling anyone. You're just playing ball. Having fun. If the ball roll down in her yard, she taking the ball. You're not getting back the ball. And I could never forget was going in the mountain. And while was a concrete road, and you know the trees them is over the road. The trees them is over the road, so the sun is not hitting the road. So there's mass under concrete. While we're going up, the lady had a tub of plum rose on her head. Like, you know, a tub. Like a white tub, and it full with fruits. And while we're walking, going up, the lady fall down right by my footstep. Right by my foot. And I stretch out my hand and help her back up. And she said, oh my goodness. She said, thank you so much. And I take the tub from her and I help her pick up all the fruits them and put back in the tub. This is a lady who takes your ball, if it go in her yard, costs you. But that day, she fall down on the ground. All her fruit stumble over. Who got to help her? So sometimes in life, help comes not only by financial, it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be spiritual. Live good, guys. We're heading for December 2025. Live good with each other and be blessed. All right? So thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, so blessed. Thank you. Thanks everyone for coming on tonight, man. I appreciate you all. And always remember, stay humble and always seek a peace of mind. And remember, a peace of mind, it's a journey. It don't just appear. All right? It's a journey. Good night, everyone.